My friend Marshall was the cool kid in high school. He was the one that dated the prom queen, the one that was the star football player. Everyone loved him.
Go.
His senior year, he decided to take steroids, and he got bigger and better because he wanted to get bigger and better, but he also got acne and impotence. He couldn't get it up and lost his girlfriend and became the laughingstock of the school along with it. I want you guys to listen to me today because steroids can be detrimental to your body, and using them uninformed could be a bad thing. Nora V. Volkow, MD in psychiatry, receiver of the Robbins Award for Best Medical Student in her generation, and top 100 pick for Time Magazine's People Who Shape Our World in 2006, said that she receives consistent reports of professional athletes using and abusing steroids. This could be a damaging message to our society because being bigger and better is not more important than getting there. Today I will be teaching you about anabolic steroids. I will inform you about the history of anabolic steroids. I will teach you about the present day use of anabolic steroids, and I will enlighten you about your imminent future if you choose to abuse non-prescription anabolic steroids. Let's start off with the history of anabolic steroids. Anabolic androgen steroids are a synthetic version of the male hormone testosterone. Anabolic for muscle building, androgenic for increase in male characteristics. The Case Research Center in Maryland, responsible for Maryland's civic and legislative bodies, in 2013 reported that they could trace steroids all the way back to the 1930s, where they were developed to help men develop, reach puberty, and things such as that. They were later traced to the World War II, where they were used in malnourished soldiers to help them perform better and gain weight. They made their debut in the Olympics in 1956 in Soviet wrestlers, where they performed outstandingly. A Dr. Ziegler took this back to the United States and created the anabolic steroid we all know and love today. In 1988, the first federal regulation was passed to increase the severity of the penalties for sales and possession of anabolic steroids. In 1990, the Steroid Enforcement Act was passed to make steroids a Schedule III drug, which is now what it is today. Now that I've given you a little historical background of anabolic steroids, I'd like to inform you about the present day use of anabolic steroids. Anabolic steroids are still used for what they were created originally, which is to help people. When prescribed, anabolic steroids are used to rebuild muscle tissues that have been deteriorated from certain disease or illness. Things they aid in are anemia, certain blood clotting diseases, even certain breast cancers. Although they are used to help people, they are also abused like the Soviet wrestlers used them for. When abused, these drugs are taken in 10 to 100 times more potent dosages than when prescribed. They are applied via cream on the skin, orally, or injected straight into the muscle. Brian Adams, MD in dermatology from Yale University, specializes in sports dermatology, in 2006 reported that 5.6% of 12th graders, 5 to 20% of collegiate athletes, and shocker, but 90% of bodybuilders are using and abusing steroids. This statistic shows me that you and I will both be subjected to anabolic steroids if we choose to pursue any high level of sports or athletics. Now that I've informed you about the present day use of anabolic steroids, I would like to enlighten you about your imminent future if you choose to use non-prescribed anabolic steroids. Start off with the positive effects. You will get yoked, you will get huge, and your athletic ability will improve. You may even see an increase in your ability to heal. But those are all the positive effects. Let's move on to the negative effects. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the principal agency for the government in helping us stay healthy, in 2013 reported that all those rumored effects that you know of steroids and more are true. Some of the effects for men include impotence, reduction of sperm count. The infamous shrinking of the testicles is in fact true. Some effects of women include an enlarged clitoris, reduction of the breasts, increase in facial hair, and so forth. Both sexes may see an increase in acne, insomnia, possible heart attacks there, HIV or AIDS from sharing of needles. These are all things both sexes could see. They can also see psychological effects. Both sexes it is not odd to be able to see an increase in aggressiveness in both sexes. The infamous roid rage is in fact true as well. The negative effects sadly do outweigh the positive effects of using steroids. Today I informed you about anabolic steroids. I told you about the historical background of anabolic steroids. I taught you about the present day use of anabolic steroids, and I enlightened you about your imminent future if you choose to use non-prescribed anabolic steroids. My friend Marshall was not the brightest guy. He just made a mistake, and that mistake is going to cost him the rest of his life. I hope I informed you guys well enough today that if so happen you come across anabolic steroids in your future, you will be able to make an educated decision.